welcome back to another episode of Buzzworthy Businesses, brought to you by Foodies Care and the Daily News Network. I have the opportunity to sit today with a gentleman that I've had the pleasure of knowing for years, Colonel Chris Budihas.
Hey, sir, how are you doing?
Good
to see you, Steve.
It is good to see. It's weird because you're over there, because usually we're harassing each other on the same side of the table. Yeah. But we're here today to talk about a business that you have, right? So, storied career military guy, entrepreneur, business owner, and the name of the company that we're talking about today is Xpert Worx.
Xpert Worx, yes, sir.
And there's a product called Xpert Radar.
Yeah, Xpert Radar.
And so you're in the radar business now?
Not quite. So can I tell you the backstory on this?
You would love to know.
So one of our products called Intel Xpert, basically for day-to-day law enforcement, to help them to include. He also the software does analysis of prison phone calls, and so as part of this, we were looking at Department of Justice grants. And so as my chief technology officer says, what is personal is universal in many cases. So we were physically going to the Department of Justice grant website, and then going through and clicking through every single grant to see if we're competitive. You're talking hours per week of doing this. And many times you'd get deep into each of the grants and you'd find out on page 38 that, we're non-competitive for this grant. So he built out a software that does 24/7 scanning of grants at the federal, the state, local level, nonprofit space. Depending on what you do as an organization, it really doesn't matter. It could be municipal, it could be state level government, it could be law enforcement, nonprofit, business of any size. But if you're pursuing grants, it's doing a constant scan to see what you're competitive for. It pulls that information. It gives you a daily dashboard of what those grants you're competitive at. It'll score it for you, so you can see what level of competitiveness you're at or not at. And then in addition to that, from there you get a daily email with all those areas which you may compete in if you use our software. And from there, if you find something of interest, you click on the software auto-generate I'd call it a 90% or greater first draft proposal response for you. So what I've seen is when I used a grant writer previously with a nonprofit, we were spending $4,000 a month on a retainer for the individual. She was constructing and pushing out about 1 to 2 grants per month, and we were only being awarded on average probably by a hit rate of like 20%-ish per. It can be very expensive, right? $4,000 per month. Do the math, right? It's very expensive, $48,000. And our hit rate was very low. Well, now we have a software capability where we have clients who are traditionally putting out 1 to 2 grant proposals per month. They're putting out 3 to 8 per week right now.
Wow. So for people that are watching this going, what? If we go back to grant land before AI, so I remember back in the days of the college scholarship universe, right? You got the book, right? It's like, here it is. Yeah. And then of course now it's gone to computers, but you now have the book
still large
on a computer by which you as a business owner have to sift through. And these grants, like you said, they're anywhere from research grants at university all the way down to private business infrastructure projects that are federally sponsored and or co-sponsored, whatever. Yeah. And so these are grant dollars for pretty much anybody, anywhere doing something with the government. And instead of having to go from the book or online to get to page 38 where it's nope, it's like everything else but that one line, you just wasted 4 or 5 hours, time, money, whatever, to get 1 grant a month. Now this AI stuff is kicking out 3 a week.
Yeah, or more.
Or more.
Yeah, and it's a huge savings, time savings. And one of the companies we're talking to, there's obviously a couple of other folks that do grants were concerned, is AI going to take my job? The answer is no. You're actually going to be a high performer because you're going to actually process more grants. And oh, by the way, I said 90% or greater. So there's still a human on the loop. There's areas which the software is going to say, placeholder, you need to address these things, just because the software can't address it for you. So there's still human agency to complete the process or complete the proposal and then submit it. So the huge amount of savings that we're seeing right now with our clients is pretty substantial. And I will not mention the state, but we have a state with their corrections department. So the Department of Justice has about $3 billion in annual grants. So there's certain grants that only they can submit that only they can submit to Department of Justice. Well, they're using our software in order to identify those grants and then secure that money to use another product, which is called Intel Xpert, which I could tell you on another episode. So
it's fascinating to see. So everybody's always like, "Where's this AI thing? What's it going to do? How's it going to go?" I mean, everything AI this, AI that, AI this, AI that. But so what you're doing is you're deploying AI in a very useful tool, not some cool like software window dressing, so to speak, which is it's great that side of AI works. But this is actually a functional component that's using AI and technology to help that grant writer increase productivity tenfold, if not more. Which then means better opportunities for the company that's paying for the service, right? Which is good. And their ROI is going to go up because they already know before this opportunity gets to their desk that they are 90% chance that they're going to qualify and or be competitive on the bid.
100%. And then I know we're going to have to wrap up in a second here, but on the pricing, so there's other companies that provide a capability. We're biased. We think ours has a lot more capacity that the folks that contact me, we can do a demo, take you about 20 minutes or so of time to see more about the functionality of the software. But they're charging tens of thousands of dollars per month. We're charging a couple $100 per month for a user. So we're cost effective friendly. You can cancel subscription anytime with 30 days notice. So we are getting out there because we feel that specifically our small to medium company and our municipalities and counties need this capability in order to secure the money that they need in order to make our communities stronger. So I'd encourage folks to go to Xpert Worx, so XPERT Worx, WRX.com, and take a look at us, contact us through our page, and we would love to have a conversation with them.
Well, you think about the people watching this, right? 80% of the United States economy is a small business owner, and 80% of that economy is going, there's no way I can do grants because I just don't have enough time to be able to spend or resources to go sift through the book, the electronic book. But now you could bring all that to the table so that the man or woman watching the show that's a small business owner that wanted to get in the grant program now not only just has the avenue to do it, but the ones that they get are going to be qualified at least to 90%, of course, and then that way they can feel better about spending their time and resources to be able to go apply for those grants and actually have a better chance of getting them.
Yeah, I mean,
times 10.
Yeah, well, look at me, entrepreneur. I never wrote a grant until now, and I guess I had approved grants, but now I'm writing grants.
Yeah.
Because I have the capacity, because I'm enabled by the software at a low cost point in order to go pursue the money that I want to make my community better with.
I appreciate you always coming on the show.
It's good to see you, Steve.
It is fun to have this side of it. And thank you for joining, of course, to talk about the grant program software that you have with Xpert Worx. And as great as you are, we can't do it without these guys. Guys, it's so fun to be able to interview a gentleman who I not only have the opportunity to be colleague, but friend, the Colonel, Chris Budihas, retired, in all the things he's got going on, to spend some time talking today about the AI technology with Xpert Worx. We'll make sure to put his website on our website, which is thedailynewsnetwork.com. If you love the episode, share the episode, and remember, always live with gratitude.